Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter about the real reason for my divorce with her mother? I left my ex-wife after 10 years of dead bedroom. I left as soon as my youngest was 18, and I didn't hide my happiness while doing it. I threw a ditch-to-be party, and I wake up every day since then with a smile on my face. My kids were not thrilled at this and stopped talking to me. I decided not to make amends with them or share my side of the story because I have done my part. I was there till they went to college. If they need me, all they have to do is ask. But I am 46, and I plan to fill my life with as much joy and happiness as I can. I just don't have enough time left to try to convince my kids to not hate me. I asked for divorce 1 year ago, and 2 days later, I met a woman online. My plan was to remain casual, but that didn't pan out as I planned, because this woman became my girlfriend pretty fast. Apparently, my ex has been feeding lies in my kids' minds, that I left her for my girlfriend, and I was already cheating on her. My daughter, who is the oldest, started messaging my girlfriend in IG, saying bad things to her, how she is a homewrecker. I asked my daughter to meet me and talk to me directly instead of harassing my girlfriend. I bought her dinner and told her that I never cheated on her mother, which honestly I regret. I should have cheated on her. I wasted my time suffering. I told her about that bedroom and how she didn't put effort in our relationship. She is 22, so I think she can handle it. She asked me why didn't I leave her mother before, and I told her that I had this notion that I should ride it out until kids are 18. I thought that was the right thing to do, but I'm not sure anymore. But I do know is that I don't want to think about it. I want to look forward to my future, and if she wants to hate me, she's free to do so. I seriously do not have any plans to convince her otherwise. I want to spend the rest of my life with people who wants to be with me. I really don't have any plans to convince others to be with me, even if they are my own kids. So if she wants to spend time with me, my doors are always open for her and her brother, but she can't harass the woman who makes me happy. If she has so much problem with her, then it's best that we keep our distance. My daughter asked me to give her proof that I only started dating my girlfriend after separation, and I showed her my messages. It took her about a month to process it, but she eventually apologized to my girlfriend, and we spent time together on New Year's Eve. As my daughter got to know my girlfriend, she understood how cool she is. They're bonding very well. My ex raged when she learned that my daughter spent time with my girlfriend. My daughter told her about what I said, and told her that she does not blame me anymore and want to move on. Now my ex is up my behind, sending me nasty messages about how I shouldn't have told our daughter about our intimate life, how I am disgusting, etc., etc. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Lol, pretty sure you have to actually be intimate in order to have an intimate life to talk about. Imagine being that bitter. Exes crossed that OP disclosed the truth, that they had a dead bedroom, but she was happy to lie about OP having an affair. Double standards much? Not the a-hole about setting things straight when your ex lied. But honestly, your whole attitude is pretty a-hole-ish. Dumping your kids because you did your part, as if it didn't even cross your mind that you're a parent for life, because you love your kids and want to watch them turn into thriving adults, celebrate their successes, and help them out when life gets rough. That kind of thing. I have an ex too, I get it. But that whole ditch-to-be language, I hope you spoke in a respectful manner in front of your children. She is their mother. His comment about there not being enough time left in his life to mend broken relationships with his kids. Bro could live to 90 easily. He's only halfway through his life and ready to live the rest of his life without family relationships because his ex didn't want to sleep with him. Ridiculous and pathetic doesn't even begin to cover this man as a father. I threw a ditch-to-be party, and you wonder why your kids were mad at you. Maybe your ex is annoying AF, but you don't seem to be 100% all there either. I get what you were saying, I really do. But I think I deserve to throw a ditch-to-be party. I understand why my kids were mad at me. I uprooted their family, but I was not gonna live with that woman any more than I had to. And I am damn well gonna celebrate leaving her for every day of my life. You can't seem to grasp the point. Ditch-to-be, the mother of your children. You have zero respect for their mother and it shows. You should have left years ago, because your kids seem to have believed you had a decent relationship with your mom. You lied to them. Your job doesn't stop at 18 for Pete's sake. You're an a-hole, and so is your wife for spreading lies. You're poor kids. Ditch-to-be, the mother of your children. I don't care. She was not a good wife. She does not deserve any kind of grace from me. I don't respect her, and I don't need to. She could have put in effort, but she chose not to. Now she's playing victim. She's pathetic. Next story. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend 27 female over her younger sister 24 female? I need some outside perspective on the situation. I broke up with my girlfriend 5 days ago due to her sister's behavior. Me and my ex have been dating for the last 2 years, and during this time, her sister has come on to me multiple times. I'm not completely sure about the number of times, but it was almost every time I saw her. I've told the sister multiple times to leave me alone and to stop her behavior, as I don't do the cheating thing, but that did nothing. I've spoken to my ex about it multiple times. She even caught her sister in the act of trying to lock me in a room with herself. Nothing changed. I have spoken to their parents about it and that the behavior of the youngest daughter is unacceptable. And again, nothing happened. I am not going to lie and say the sister was ugly. No, she's actually really beautiful, but I am 100% sure I have not led her on or anything. Even when I greeted her, I gave her a side hug every single time. I have never been in a room alone with her or anything. I just kept my distance from her at all costs. I don't have her on Instagram, Facebook. I don't even have her cell phone number. We have never shared a text or phone call. Her family even gave me a stupid nickname, the puppy, because I follow my girlfriend around everywhere when we are over at their house. The only reason I follow her is because her sister's behavior seemed to stop when she's around. I have told her that I will stop going over to her parents' house because that is where the problems are. I don't want no part of it. She didn't like that idea and sulked around the house for weeks because I didn't want to go with her. No point in time did I tell her she can't go. I just said I wasn't going with her. I relented 5 days ago and went over. We had too much to drink and slept over at the parents' house that night. The morning I woke up with the sister completely naked in bed next to me. I stormed out the door and down to the kitchen and told her we are done in front of her parents. She was silent for what seemed like minutes and started to break down asking why. All I said was go look in that room, and I stormed out of the house and got in my car. It took less than 2 minutes, then the calls started to come in, not just from her, but her parents as well. I didn't answer any of the calls. When I got home 40 minutes later, I had 108 missed calls from her and her parents and 36 messages, 2 from her parents. The messages from her parents just apologized to me, saying they thought I was joking about the sister every time I brought it up, and they didn't believe me. All I got from my now ex was sorry and she will handle it and it will never happen again. I shouldn't leave. We can work through this. I'm just done. She has even gotten my family involved in our friend. 90% of everyone is on her side, saying I'm overreacting and I'm the a-hole for dumping her, that we can sort this out. I sent her a message that she has until Sunday to get her things out of my house. I'm just done. Surprisingly, she has not sugar-coated anything and explained everything correctly to everyone, but I'm still in the wrong for leaving her. Her parents in their messages are angry at me for hurting their daughter. My family's angry because they love her. Our friends are angry because I refuse to take her back and saying I'm overreacting. 2 years of this crap and I'm overreacting. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. If the genders were reversed, that would be looked at like a crime. You told everyone you could and tried to avoid it. Anyone outside of her and her parents being salty is an a-hole too. I agree. What is messing with my mind a bit is that 10% of people on my side are all men. All the female friends and the ones in my family are saying I'm taking it too far by breaking up. That is the reason for my post. Every female I have in my life is saying I'm the a-hole. Well, I'm female, and I think she was absolutely harassing you. And getting into bed with you naked? Absolutely trash behavior when she knows you have a girlfriend. The fact it's her sister makes it worse. You told everyone multiple times it bothered you and nothing was done. She doesn't get to cry because she didn't consider your feelings. I honestly can't believe anyone is on her side if she told them exactly what happened. Seems you need better quality friends. Exactly. How is anyone okay with this behavior? If Opie did this behavior straight to jail, he'd be labeled a creep, and this would be assault/harassment. Both of those things would be true. The fact that everyone, but especially her immediate family and her sister, is nonchalant about it is alarming. Opie needs better friends. Not the a-hole. You try to work it out for years. Undoubtedly, you aren't taken seriously by her or her family until a naked girl is found in your bed. Good riddance. I personally don't know you, but I'm a woman and totally agree with you cutting contact. I'm not sure what your family and female friends are thinking. If your girlfriend or her parents had walked in while you were still asleep, it would be an entirely different ballgame. You would have been accused of who knows what. Crap, now I'm actually scared. That has not even crossed my mind at all. They haven't hit you with anything, so undoubtedly they know you didn't touch the sister. I'm just saying if they had walked in while you were asleep, things could have been different. The way you reacted shows them you're a stand-up guy and was telling the truth all this time. I'm glad you got out of that situation. Thank you for the nice words, but a little too late to start believing me. At her parent, she acted like that in front of them. The only time she stopped was when my ex was in the room. Not the a-hole. This girl was sexually harassing you. Think about it this way. If you had a male family member do all this to her and get into bed naked with her, she would have called the cops. The sister is a predator. Save the messages and go to the cops. They probably won't do anything, but you can start a paper trail on this woman. If you have a lawyer or can afford one, get a lawyer to send a well-crafted note to both the sister and the rest of that family to leave you alone. They're a bunch of enablers. I'm so angry for you. I haven't thought of going to the police, but we'll have a chat with my lawyer and discuss possible actions. Last story. Am I the a-hole for putting my ex and his sister on blast for being hobosexuals? I, female 26, just broke up with my boyfriend over our short road trip. Initially, my plan was to spend 3 days doing my modest version of Eat, Pray, Love all by myself in a 4 to 5 hour distance from home ratio. I'd been saving up to stay in 3 different accommodations. No Airbnb for me, just hotel rooms and exploring cities that I'd never been to, and visiting my favorite town, which is 1 hour away. By the time I was ready for my trip, to celebrate a career milestone, I already was in a relationship with Mac, male 34. He insisted on coming along, and this created friction. I gave in to his demands and we agreed on splitting costs. I would pay for the hotel rooms, and he would drive us and cover gas costs plus half the meal costs. The first hotel was really nice. I booked a suite with perks and a lovely view. The rest of the accommodations were average, between a low-cost bedroom and guest house. I hated the first hotel experience. Mac asked me if we could meet with his childhood friend. It was very short notice, but I wasn't against meeting the guy and his wife. I learned during our meet and greet that Mac had invited them days in advance but neglected to tell me. I let it slide because I honestly thought maybe there was a misunderstanding. I didn't enjoy meeting his friends. They didn't do anything in particular to offend me or anything. It's just that we were supposed to be enjoying a date, and his friends were there, and I felt invaded and out of place. It felt like an outsider because I couldn't really contribute to their conversations. They started drinking, and I refused to charge it to our room, and Mac's face of anger made me feel horrible. Also, when he floated the idea about bringing his friends, I suggested we could meet the next day at the next town, but he insisted that it had to be that night at that hotel. His friends don't strike me as bad people, but I felt Mac made a unilateral decision and I got bumped. He promised it would just be dinner, but I finally went to sleep at midnight and he was smiling and super happy to be with his friends and allowed me to go to our room by myself. He never showed up, despite telling me that he would join me in a few minutes. I called him past 2 a.m. and he said that he was out of the hotel because they had the munchies. I exploded on him and told him to not bother coming back, and that I would have all his belongings handed over to him at the front desk. I couldn't sleep because I was hurt and angry, and checked out really early in the morning. He called me names and said that I don't appreciate the meaning of lifelong friendships, and that this is why I'm a loner, and that he was humiliated in front of his friends. I said not to worry about it, and rented a car and blocked him everywhere and removed the "in a relationship" tag from my social media. His sister tagged me in her social media rant about people who think they are better than everyone else, and tried to put me on blast by describing almost the same exact situation at the hotel in her cryptic blabbing. I uploaded receipts and one of his angry texts, accusing me of being controlling because I refused to charge their drinks to the hotel room at my expense, since he was gonna pay it back. I said I will never allow hobosexuals into my life again, since I just had a very ungrateful experience. His sister deleted the post, but my best friend says that while she knows I'm right, maybe I was cruel because now this will chase him for a long time. She may be right, since I have an otherwise stable and promising future, and maybe it came across as poverty shaming. Not my intention, I just wanted to set the record straight. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Absolutely not the a-hole. Anyone saying she sucks for having compromised and tried a new boyfriend out on a vacation are missing the point. That's what dating is for, to see if you are compatible. So she compromised, realized he was too selfish/immature for her, and ended it. Shouldn't have agreed to pay all housing and half of food. That was the red flag. Trip shouldn't have happened. But yeah, I do feel for Opie. Sounds like someone who is trying to see the best in people. Shouldn't have allowed him to come in the first place. This was supposed to be her Zen vacation, and he tagged along because one of her plans was in his friend's hometown. The fact he made plans before she said he could come is ballsy. Sorry he ruined your trip. At least you are rid of him. Not the a-hole. I have to give OP props for not waiting until the next stop to see what further BS he was going to pull. He got 3 strikes. 1. Unilaterally invited strangers to her, to join them. 2. Tried to charge the drinks to the room. In my opinion, to look like a big shot, with a very real possibility of OP never being repaid. 3. Brings them to dinner, allows OP to go up to the room alone, and then disappears without a text. No, I don't think it reflects poorly that OP was willing to change her plans. Plans were made when she was single. When it rolled around, she was in a new relationship, And a weekend with a new partner is a pretty excellent way to see if you are compatible with someone. Compromising on this is a hallmark of maturity and part of being with someone. While it imploded on her, the boyfriend did her a great service of showing that there's a reason why he was still single at 34, dating a woman a decade younger. He clearly still hasn't gotten his act together. Good riddance, Opie. Hope the rest of the trip made up for the terrible start. In my opinion, his first strike was forcing his way into her trip that she had planned on her own. That was already red flag to me. Asking would be fine, but insisting and being pushy is too